So, Saquan Barkley, Eric Dickerson, OJ Simpson. Who do I think is really legit to the 2,000 yards? Well, of course, it's going to be OJ for me because he did in 14 games. You'll never. Records are meant to be broken. And there's no problem with that. I think that we got to keep everything in perspective. OJ Simpson is one of the 5 greatest running backs ever, and I'm always going to say that. And you separate whatever you think, you can't take the talent away. That's just the facts. And the way he did it in the era he did it speaks volumes. Eric Dickerson came along, did 2105. It was 16-game season. It was incredible. Eric Dickerson's one of the greatest running backs ever. Great talent. Can't take that away. Saquon Barkley is great for his era. He's getting an extra game. So it's interesting how this dynamic works. Dickerson ain't happy about it. I don't know if OJ would have cared about it, the competitive nature, but I don't know. But it's interesting when people debate these things because then they're kind of like getting their feelings and this is that sort of thing and, how it hits. Records are meant to be broken, but that doesn't mean you don't put asterisks and suspects about them. Now, the only person to me that impressed me as much as OJ's record was Barry Sanders, who did in 99. He stunk the first 2 games. He had a combined 53 yards. Then he got 2,000 yards the next 14. And ironically, they're 2 of my top 5 running backs ever. I don't have Eric Dickerson in my top 5 ever, but he's a top 10 back. I'll give him that. But Barry was like the closest thing I saw to juice in terms of the elusiveness and playing with a crappy team that didn't give them the best chance to win, but because of their greatness individually, they made the team relevant. They kept the team front page, and people knew they were special. But it wasn't because the team was bringing it on all sides of the ball. That's just a fact. It was tough being a Bills fan back in the day because aside from a couple playoff appearances, they weren't that memorable. And they squandered a great man's individual talent as a player. Great player, great man player on the field. On the field. Regardless, just saying. But anyway, Saquon Barkley's having a great year. And as a Bills fan, I know it's fashionable to say Josh Allen for your MVP. But if Saquon Barkley breaks the record, he's got to be the MVP. I got Saquon Barkley as the MVP because of one main reason. He carried this team the whole year long. Josh Hart's been protocol the last couple weeks. He had a pretty good season. But the friction with him and A.J. Brown, the defense, and they did play good. But Saquon Barkley played like a man who got out of lockdown. I mean, he left the Giants. Ironically, he can break the record against the Giants, and he played out his mind.